Some believe that our world is divided by politics. Others see division through the lens of race. Class is another perceived divider for some. Gender, too, is seen as a line of separation. I mean, I can go on and on about separatism, but that's not technically the focus. The idea of these divisions are so ingrained that it's hard not to accept them at face value. Yet if you adopt these narratives, then your life in essence will beget this narrative. But beneath the surface, there lies a deeper truth. And the truth is that the divide that we're talking about here is the absence of self-love. Our world can be seen as split into two groups: those who cultivate self-love and those who are still on the journey to discover it within themselves. You see, the absence of love is often the root of much pain and suffering. As the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. On the other hand, an overflow of self-love acts as a healing balm for our emotional wounds. When we learn to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, we begin to address and heal past hurts. Imagine a world where everyone prioritized self-love. What would that look like? Welcome to my channel. My name is Francis. I believe when we defy the resistance, face our fears, we can create wildly beautiful lives. So my goal is to inspire you to rise above the self-doubt, conquer your fears, and embrace a life of limitless possibilities, free from judgment, with full clarity. Today, we're diving deep into an element that not only shapes our personal journeys, but also influences the broader imbalances in our world. Beyond the undeniable importance of our connection to a higher source, we're delving into the profound realm of self-love. You see, many of the choices that we make or choose not to make is a direct reflection of the love we hold for ourselves. So if this message is resonating with you, I just ask you to show me some love by hitting the like button, subscribing to this channel, and joining my Thrive newsletter to continue this conversation offline. Here's the thing. We're all driven by our inadequacies. Similar to the hero's journey, I did a whole video about how to be the hero of your own story, which you can check out above here somewhere. But at some point, within these inadequacies, alchemy must take place. Self-love is the catalyst for this alchemical transformation. It's the elixir that turns our inner struggles into strengths. When we love ourselves, we develop compassion for our own imperfections. Instead of seeing our inadequacies as weaknesses, we start to view them as stepping stones on our journey. Self-love enables us to accept our flaws, learn from our mistakes, and embrace our uniqueness. And truth be told, the world experiences a higher vibrational frequency when we embrace self-love. Even in our acts of kindness, if we neglect self-love, our acts of kindness can be tainted by our wounding, giving us this illusion that we're doing it from an unconditional place. Think about it. When we're connected to our own self-love, acts of kindness flow naturally, not as some sort of obligation, but as heartfelt expressions of love, both for yourself and those around you. Self-love ultimately becomes the bridge that unites us all. When we love ourselves, we're better equipped to empathize with others. We understand their struggles. Our relationships blossom, all because we love ourselves enough to give ourselves grace so that we can extend it to others. Sometimes we can't extend to others what we haven't been able to give ourselves. Then other times we overextend ourselves to others because of this incredible need to fill a wounded, empty well. Everything starts and ends with you. But you, my dear soul, just have to decide. I've been reading this book called The Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins, and I've taken a break from it just because I had to shift my focus. But in this book, it provides a framework for understanding human consciousness and the varying levels of consciousness that we all can operate from. In this map, consciousness is measured on a scale of 1 to 1,000. So think of like your sociopath at 1 and then Gandhi at 1,000. And with each level representing a specific emotional or energetic state. Self-love as a concept would generally fall under higher levels of consciousness in this framework. And so the map of consciousness suggests that higher levels of consciousness are associated with positive emotions, personal growth, and spiritual development, while lower levels are associated with negative emotions and limitations. I say this to say that self-love is the nucleus. And when it's operating at its fullest potential within us, it leads to everything else, such as joy, connectedness, and inner peace. Self-love becomes this ripple effect that unites us all. Communities unite, differences dissolve, and we see the world not as an us versus them, but as a we. As for myself, there was a point in time where I fell into those kinds of divisions, and it got me nowhere. It just kept me separated from myself, and it kept me hating in ways that I no longer wanted to hate, because whomever I hated out there, I was also hating in here. So what I'm saying to you is that you must do everything within your power to understand and transmute every barrier that is between you and you loving yourself. The state of your world is a reflection of the state of the bigger world that also has everything to do with man-made programming and narratives that we must all do everything in our power to dismantle. So I'm encouraging you in this season of your life to prioritize you. And it's not about being selfish. I discussed this idea in a video where I emphasize that the world doesn't need you to be its savior. So instead, by taking care of yourself, you ensure that you can fully realize and utilize the creator's gifts and talents within you. To do this the best way that you can, it's time to clear away the clutter and distractions that might hinder your true potential in this world. Some of you are going to ask, well, how do I do that? It's easier said than done. Already, a limitation, a self-doubt. We're already talking ourselves out of it, right? You have to find all the barriers within you and begin to face them bit by bit. And I've created several videos like about self-love, about compassion, about different ways that you can do that. So you can start right there. And I'll leave them at the end of this video. Most importantly, find a community that you can heal with. One of the biggest, most monumental change makers of my life was finding a group of like-minded folks that were also kind of black sheepish. They were a little weird, that really helped me to sort of be myself and explore all aspects of myself so that I could actually go through the healing process. And it was a group that just didn't let me slide, right? They challenged me and they supported me every step of the way. I could ask all the weird questions without being judged. So as more people like you prioritize self-love, we'll witness a world transform. I see it more like butterflies emerging from their cocoons will experience a collective rebirth. So it's all that I have for you in this moment. I hope this video was helpful to you and inspires you to really focus on your self-love, knowing that that is the anchor that is going to change everything in your life. And if you found this video helpful, just do me a favor, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And share in the comments below one big takeaway from this video. Maybe it sparked something. And when you share it in the comments, you're sharing it with the community, which in turn helps each other to grow and to feel like we're not isolated in this process. In the meantime, join my Thrive newsletter where I'll be announcing something big this week, and I will see you on the other side of wholeness.